Peace to the gods and the goddesses, man. It's gonna be a quick little video. Gonna make this for the goddess, man. You know, we gotta realign the goddess energy and the god energy, man. It's gonna be about these spirits. Now, I know I don't spoke about this hundreds of times, man. It's in the archives, but they don't check the archives, so what the hell with it? I'ma just go in, hit you with the gist. Y'all know how I do. I mean, this video is just for her. It's too much to be typing, man. You know, up on Facebook, man. So I'ma just do the video real quick, man. For those who already know about it, y'all already know what it is, man. But this, you know what I'm saying, it's old, but it's gonna be new for her. Okay, spirits. You gotta know that the so-called black race are not spiritual people. Never was, never will be. It's not in our solar makeup to be spiritual. I'm say that again. It's not in our solar makeup to be spiritual. You got to know that spirituality is a craft for spirits. It's no different than a mechanic going to auto part school to be a mechanic. It's no different than an electrician going into the craft or the school known as electrician to be an electrician, studying how the wires and electricity work. It's no different than a chef going into culinary arts and learning the craft of cooking. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's what spirituality is. Spirituality teaches the spirits about themselves. You know what I'm saying? The so-called black race are not spirits, and we're not spiritual. You got to know. See, a lot of people would notice if they ever came out of their bodies. That's how I know a lot of people who claim that they came out of their bodies never came out of their bodies. Never. Because the first thing that hits you when you come out your body is that you are not the body. That's the first thing that should hit you. I know that's the first thing that hit me. When I came out of the body and I looked and saw my body sleeping in that bed, curled up in the fetus position, I said, holy ish. I said, yo, I came out my body. And all I was hearing was, that's all I kept hearing. Because, you know, that's the pineal gland. Once you vibrate on a certain frequency, you could vibrate out of your body. You don't so much come out. You vibrate out. You know what I'm saying? So I went to the spirit world and all that. You already know I broke all. Hold on for a second. Yeah. I went to the spirit world and all that. I broke all that down, but this video is for her. I went to the spirit world plenty of times. The spirit world is right here on this planet. That's why I always say that this planet or this dimension is a stair up. You know, like on a staircase, it's a step up from the spirit world. The same thing that's happening on the spirit world is happening here. The only difference is in the spirit world, you don't feel. There's a lot of other things, but the main thing is that you do not feel. Why you do not feel? Because you need a body to feel. You need a body to feel. When you come outside of the body, there is no feeling. That's why I say the gods don't have emotions. Gods are pure light beings. They don't need a body. Bodies are made for condensed dimensions. You gotta know that the higher you vibrate, the more light the dimension is. It becomes light, very light. The lower you vibrate, the more solid you are. You know what I'm saying? But then again, when you go to the spirit world, that's a form of low vibration that they can't even get in the body. There's times when the spirit vibrates so low, it doesn't meet the vibratorial requirements to incorporate a body, and therefore it gets trapped in the dimension known as the spirit world, aka what I call the lunar realm, also known as hell. That's what hell is. Hell is the spirit world. You know what I'm saying? So Spirits are inside of the human body. Just like the so-called black race, when you look in the mirror, you see a body like a so-called black man, so-called black woman. Say a brother's looking in the mirror, he would see a so-called black body. That's not who you are. You are inside the body looking out. That's why you can see things, really, because you're inside looking out the body. Energy. You know what I'm saying? As I stated before, your brain sits on top of your solar head. It actually sits on top of the mind and the neurons, the neuronic canal sends light through the neuronic canal, and it interacts with certain nerves and functions of the brain. Now you got to know that that light that's being sent through the neuronic canal does not come from the brain. It comes from the soul or the spirit. That's where it comes. You speak light. Or should I say, the way how you speak is mental telepathy. You shoot light through the brain. It's just like when I'm making this video right now. People are going to hear my voice coming through those speakers. That's not a voice that you're hearing. That's light. That's light, aka electricity, vibrating on certain pulses or certain codes, and is interpreting the voice. You know what I'm saying? It's not really a voice that you're hearing. Because if you was to put those machinery up to the circuitry of when the voice code is being sent through those wires or the mechanics to interpret the sound, you would hear things like you would hear things like that. You wouldn't hear a voice going through the microchips. You would hear a whole bunch of sounds. So that's what it is with your voice. When you send that light through the brain, it's not a voice that's going through the brain. It's a light, certain vibrations that's going through. But based on the vibrations that's going through the brain, the neuronic canal and the nerves and the veins and things of that nature, it filters it out and translates it, dumbs the light down into a vocal voice now. You know what I'm saying? So when you look in the mirror and you see a body, you're not the body. You are the soul inside of the body for the carbonated beings. But for the humans, if you want to know what the humans are, these are the humans right here. The humans is the entire human race, man. See them on the back of the bus. They are the more advanced animal race, as I stated before. And, you know, you got people saying that now. But, hey, that's not the point of this video. The humans are a more advanced animal race. You got to know that you have animals with limited consciousness, which would be your animals that walk on all fours, and then your animals that walk upright, or animals who walk on two legs, the human race. They are the more advanced animal race, meaning that they have a superior consciousness to the regular four walkers. Same fur on their head is the same fur. I don't know why people, you could look at a horse. Hold on. You know, we could do it now. Because, you know what I'm saying, we got the joint unlocked. I don't know why these people confuse this. Get up out of here, man. Get up out of here, man. All this other stuff popping up, man. Yo, why this thing keep popping up here, man? What's all this extra stuff popping up, B? Nobody don't need all that, man. See how all these other things always popping up, man, when you trying to... All this other stuff, B. Nobody don't want all that, man. Yeah, we gonna go in right now, man. It's gonna be the last time I do this spiritual video, man. You see this right? You see this right here, man? Look at a nice looking one. You got no nice looking one. But we're gonna use this one right here. See this right here, man? Why is it that they will call this on the body fur? Why is it that they will call the substance on the body fur, but then call this here. When you could clearly see that this is a longer extension of this. You could clearly see what's on top of this creature's head is a longer extension of this. If this was to grow to the same length, it would be the same thing. It is the same thing. But they call it different to throw you off. You see, the humans don't have hair. They have fur. That's why they get fleas, tick, and lice. Those creatures are only attracted to fur. They're not attracted to hair. They are attracted to fur. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at this creature right here, you got to know, even, and this right here is a part of spiritual training. Spiritual training have to do with developing the spirit that's inside of this body to inhabit this. I done did a video about this. To inhabit this. So they have to go through a series of training. A lot of these creatures. Why you think they got the Olympics, man? When you're looking at the Olympics, this is spiritual training. Horses race. They got the 100 meter, 1,000 meter dash. They got the swimming. You know what I'm saying? You will hear people say, oh, well, ever since I was a boy, I just always wanted to fly. It's like I couldn't explain it because you just came out of a bird. You just came out of a bird body. You know what I'm saying? You're spiritually growing. That's your spiritual growth. Your spiritual practice is this. The energy that's inside of these vessels are molded by way of sensories. The senses in your body serves as a tool that molds the energy, the soul. Certain experiences that these creatures have would allow them to incorporate or inhabit stronger vessels, which would be a human body. The same thing that's on this baby's head, fur, is the same thing that's on this, you know what I'm saying, this horse head. This ain't nothing to insult anybody. This is what it is. Even your so-called scientists say that the human race are animals. That's why they showed you the, matter of fact, we could do it. Yeah, we unlock right now, son. Come on, cuz. Oh, man. One of the biggest deceptions on the planet is that the so-called black race is part of the human race. We're not part of the damn human race. We never was, never will be. When they showing you this so-called evolution chart right here, don't look at this chart and think that the man splurted out of the monkey. That's the mistranslation. You got to know that this chart right here represents a genetic manipulation by way of scientists fusing animal genes with the God genes. That's why the body looks like this. The body would look like this because of the so-called black race. By us taking some of our blueprint genetics, which allows this design to be molded. You know what I'm saying? We took out certain DNA to get the template or the outline out. And we fused it with other several creatures' DNA. Why do you think the scientists test pharmaceutical drugs on monkeys, mice, pigs, rabbits, and things like that? Why would you test pharmaceutical drugs on creatures and then give it to the humans unless the genes is the same? You can't do that. You can't make something and test it on a certain species unless, and you know what I'm saying, you can't make something and test it on a certain species and then give it to another species unless the genes is the same. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. They would drop dead as soon as they take it, man. You know what I'm saying? That'll be like putting, I'm gonna use one of Dr. Sebi's famous line. That'll be like putting gasoline in a damn diesel engine, or diesel in a gasoline engine. That gasoline engine was tailor made to use diesel as a fuel source, not gasoline. So if you put gas in a diesel engine, the car will malfunction. Okay, so the way how the scientists test these products, they only testing it on where the humans derive from, which is the lower creatures, animals. That's where the word human comes from. You look at the word human. Hold on for a second. You look at the word human. You look at the word human. It's short for hue. It's a hue animal. You know what I'm saying? A hum animal, or for your hominoids, you know what I'm saying? Your Sasquatch and all that. Those were like several prototypes that we went through. It's many different types of humans that was created, man. You gotta know that the lower animals and the higher animals are all humans. They're just different versions of humans. Just like you got different versions of cars. There's many different types of cars, but you got different versions. You call one a bus, a truck, a Lamborghini, a sports car, a sedan, a minivan. You know what I'm saying? It goes on, but it's all still cars. Still all run on four wheels. You know what I'm saying? So the spirits is inside of the human body. The spirit is inside of the human body. When you're looking at the human body, you got to know that every force is being driven by energy. There's no force that's being moved by itself. It's being driven by energy. And people who came out of their body should already know this, man. That's why I know there's a lot of frauds out here on YouTube, man, talking about they having these out of bodies experiences and they go into the spirit world. But I have yet to hear anybody say that there is no sun in the spirit world. There is no sun in the spirit world. No sun. You know what I'm saying? There's no sun in the spirit world. There is only a moon. For the low light beings, for the spirits. The moon is a control panel that was created to govern the spirits. Why you think I just did a video talking about the Gregorian calendar? Why you think the Gregorian calendar is the standard calendar in society? A majority of the population is humans, which is spirits. And you got the so-called black race vibrating on a spiritual frequency. You know what I'm saying? Because if you put it in your mind, your cells gonna mimic those thought patterns and pick up that frequency. So if you believe, matter of fact, I ain't gonna say if you believe, because believing is not the same as knowing. If you assume that you are a human, then you will vibrate on the frequency of a human. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. That's why, you know, imagery is the inception to manifestation. So spirituality is a craft that was created to give animals discipline, because knowing that these creatures, you know, that's why they always talk about the Moors had to teach the Europeans how to be what is it? Their hygiene was poor. They had to teach them how to bathe, wipe their ass, dress, all sorts of stuff they had to teach them. Why? Because ain't that what you do with animals? Don't you train your animal to use, don't you train your cat to use the go in the what is it, the litter box? Don't you train your dog to, you know, say, yo, let me know when you gotta piss. Take him outside, let him go running. He marked the territory. You know what I'm saying? All animals need to be trained, but it's being done on a more sophisticated level now. They still have that animal gene in them. You know what I'm saying? That's where the whole ego is. That's what the territorial thing is about. Or that's my woman. That's all an expression of an animalistic consciousness. You're just looking, you're basically looking at an animal inside of a God typo body. Looking at an animal, and you're looking at an animal, which is a spirit, inside of a God typo body. Because the template, this template right here, is not the template of man. That is the template of God. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the head, the limbs, the head, the arms, the chest, all fingers, eyes, ears. That is a template of God. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that this human right here is the God. I'm just saying that the template, that the body came from a God design that we gave to an animal, which is a spirit. We ain't Africans, man. Africans is part of the human race. They highly melanated. In fact, if it wasn't for melanin, spirits would be trapped in the spirit world. They would not be able. Hold on, man. This dude's still sending me work, man. What's wrong with this guy? Hold on. Base, I'm done for the day. If it was, that's why Bobby Hemmett said melanin was a gift from the gods. Bobby Hemmett is actually absolutely right, but ain't nobody describing. Nah, man. Nah, fam, I'm already late, man. I got something I gotta do. If I could, I would, man, but I can't. Yo, what's wrong with this dude, B? Hold on, man. This is 55 Howard. Oh, that's right here where I'm at. Hold on for a second, y'all. I'm coming. You're begging me right now, son. Take this call, man. You lucky is right here, son. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. It's right up the block from where I'm at. I got it. Yeah. Bobby Hemmett stated that the melanin was a gift from the gods, and he's absolutely right. But they're not describing why it's a gift from the gods. You got to know that we, the so-called black race, are the gods. See, the spirits is actually trapped in the spirit world. That's where hell is, meaning that they cannot ascend. They can't leave that dimension. The only way the spirits were able to leave that dimension is by way of the melanin. And melanin exists in hybrids. It doesn't exist in nothing that's authentic. So don't think that the humans only have melanin. The whole animal race. I'm talking about the ones that walk on all fours. You know what I'm saying? The ones that walk on all fours, your creatures, your dogs, your cats, your horse, your birds, all of that. You know what I'm saying? They all have melanin. It's not just the humans. There's different versions of humans. So by we creating that melanin, it gave them the ability now to incorporate bodies, condensed matter based bodies, because the spirit is just light. You know what I'm saying? It's not tangible. But by us creating the melanin, it gave them the ability to come from the spirit world to this dimension. Without that melanin, they would be trapped in the spirit world. They would be trapped. So it is a gift. And you got to know that these spirits never had an experience like this before. They never knew. You got to know that the introduction to this dimension, they never knew it existed. They never knew it existed. They just thought that dimension, that was it. All they seen was the damn moon. It's like you being in Earth. It's like you being on Earth your whole life. You assuming what these scientists is saying is true. It ain't no life out there. It ain't no planets out there. You assume all that. And then you just go to another dimension. And that dimension is like nothing you could ever imagine. It will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. Especially if the dimension is more popping than the last dimension you've been in. You'll be like, yo, I ain't never trying to go back to that damn spirit world. Are you crazy? You see what it's like over here? Yo, we actually feel. Spirits don't feel. You know what I'm saying? That's why they use people as a medium to transfer the feeling. You have certain spirits that vibrate so low that they can't incorporate a body, but they use people through temptations so they could feel and transfer that feeling over to the spirit when they attach themselves to your aura. You know what I'm saying? Damn, play, you almost hit me. You know what I'm saying? So they never been in a dimension like this. They never knew what is. As a matter of fact, somebody put me on to this movie called Cool World. He was like, yo, that stuff that you're talking about sounds just like what they had in that movie Cool World. So when I checked out that movie Cool World, yo, it's the damn spirit world. And the same thing I was saying is like what the girl was saying. She was fiending to mate. She wanted to mate. She needed to mate with a man so that she could incorporate the melanin based body. She needed to get that spirit out of the spirit world into the more condensed matter based world, which would be earth, so she could feel, because that's all they want to do is feel. It's like a drug to them. You gotta know they came from a dimension where they never felt, and this is something that's new to them. So of course it's gonna blow their mind. They not trying to go back to the spirit world, man. The spirit world, yo, man, I've been over there. They trying to get back over here, man. And the spirits over there is thirsty to get back over here. It's some of them that's vibrating so low they don't even look like this. They look like some deformed vibration. They look like a deformed vibration. Something that you can't even identify. They look all fuzzed up. You know what I mean? They look all fuzzed up. So the thing is that the people who's running the planet, they know this. They know about this, man. But they'll play along like they don't know. Call somebody crazy. Why you think they keeping the vibration so low on this planet? Because the lower this vibration is, the more spirits can incorporate this dimension. If you raise the vibration of this planet, they're not going to be able to inhabit this dimension, because melanin has a limit. Let me take this off, man. Melanin has a limit to the light it could store. When the melanin goes beyond the limit of the light it could store, aka energy, it explodes. That's why you will hear about white people, or so-called white people, or who all these humans on the beach, they getting blisters, they skin breaking. You got to know that a blister is a microscopic melanin explosion. Just imagine you dropping a nuke and you see that big crater, that explosion. That's what's happening on a microscopic level. That sunlight, which is energy, is going into the melanin, and a lot of energy is being absorbed and it's going past the melanin limit, and the melanin is exploded. And when the melanin explodes, the skin detaches. It's not that the skin breaks. The molecules that hold the skin together become separated because the energy is too much to sustain a whole. When that sunlight or energy is constantly hitting that melanin. So what they got to create? They got to create sun block and sun sheen, and they test it on a pig. Why would you test that on a pig? Because the pig skin is similar to the human race. So they test it. So to put the sun block and the sun sheen on, you got to know that is a sheen that filters and dumb down the light. I did a video talking about when they gave the afro sheen, that was actually preparing the goddess to rock wigs, weaves, and perms, burning her damn soul down with that chemical in her head. You know what I'm saying? So yes, Bobby Hemmett was right. The melanin is a gift from the gods because we created it, and without that, they spirit would not be able to send that energy through the body, so they could be able to manipulate it. And there's other things that's working as well. You know what I'm saying? Just like we have carbon. Carbon is authentic. Carbon is a superconductor. It only exists in authentic life, period. Melanin exists in hybrids. That's why I always stated this before. If melanin was so authentic and popping, why is it that when scientists want to determine the authenticity, meaning that's something that is real, the authenticity is something, they do carbon dating. They don't do no melanin dating. Why they don't do melanin dating? Because melanin is artificial. They know when melanin came into existence. Came into existence when the God race created those bodies so those spirits could incorporate it. You know what I'm saying? But the melanin has a time span on it. Anything that was created will have an end because it's artificial. The whole animal kingdom is artificial. All hybrids. You know what I'm saying? With the exception to, like the buffaloes and things like that. You know what I'm saying? More advanced beings that was vibrated into this dimension. You got to know you have things that are created in this dimension, and then you have life forces that are vibrated into this dimension by way of the sun. All your organic foods are vibrated in here by the sun. The seeds is vibrated into the soil, and the soil is nothing but minerals. There is no such thing as dirt. There's no such thing as sand. When you go to the beach, you're looking at crystals. The sand on the beach is crystals, and that's a charge station. That's why a lot of people go there to get their so-called suntan on, but they really charging up. Ain't no such thing as vitamin D either. Vitamins are artificial minerals. But all of that had to be created for the human race because they artificial, so they need vitamins. Because their organs don't produce natural minerals like our organs do. Their organs produce that vitamins. Our organs produce minerals because we are the God race. And the minerals don't so much come from your organs, it comes from the soul. But based on the organ's frequency, the soul now vibrates it in. Based on the organ frequency, your soul vibrates it in. So you got to know that the spirit is actually, let's see what time it is. The spirit is actually an energy source that is infused in the human body. You know what I'm saying? And it allows it to charter this dimension. But we as the so-called black race, we are souls inside of a body. So we don't deal with the spirituality. They want to talk about our ancestors. We don't got ancestors. The humans have ancestors. We have ascendants because we are from the future. We are not in time. We fell in time now because, we vibrate on the frequency of a human. But beings of the future are outside of time. Beings who have ancestors are trapped within time because they are in the past. We are not in the past. We are in the future. We just fell in a time zone. If you leave Earth right now, what time is it? Exactly. So time is an illusion. It's based on the position of the planet to the sun. How many revolutions the planet kicks. You know what I'm saying? It's 24 hours in a day over here. Mars, it might be like 80 hours in a day based on the revolutions. You know what I'm saying? So we are not spirits. We're not spiritual. We don't deal with spirituality, and we ain't Africans. The Africans are people of the jungle. We are the gods. Why the hell would God want to live in a damn jungle? That sounds like something an animal would do. Climb up in trees like monkeys. Live in huts. You mean to tell me God created all this and we are an extension of God's, but we're going to live in some damn mud hut? Are you crazy? That's what creatures do, man. Because they have limited intelligence. The intelligence is limited. So they're going to do limited things. They're going to do animalistic things, but it's going to be expressed on a more sophisticated level because it's being described through a human body now. Gods make planets, but we're going to make a hut and live in it. Man, get the freak out of here, man. We ain't spiritual. We ain't spirituality. That's for the humans. We created that methods or teachings so that they could understand or have a certain level of morality, because when you are absent of sunlight, you go crazy. And that's a fact. In the lunar realm, there is no sun. What do you think chaotic energy is? Chaotic energy is energy that is not in order. Meaning that it's vibrating low. When you vibrate low, you are out of order. If you look at anybody who's vibrating low, they are out of order. That's it. When you vibrate high, you are in order. You carry yourself on a higher chord. The lunar realm is a low light dimension realm. All the spirits over there are chaos. So we had to create a science now to teach them discipline. Them being a low light nature, now you have to learn some higher principles, how you should carry yourself. You can't be, licking your balls in the street, running up on females' butt, even though they still do that lick twat. They just call it oral sex. You know what I'm saying? But they do it more sophisticated now. They ain't doing it all out in the open now. You know what I'm saying? But you do see some of them practicing some animalistic behavior, man. You know what I'm saying? So, man, we ain't spiritual. We never was, never will be. We the God race, point blank, period. That spirituality is for the humans. That's why we created religion. For them. Religion was created for the humans. It was not created for the so-called black race, because the so-called black race are the gods. Gods don't follow religion. Gods create religion for subjects to follow. I'm out of here, sinner.